Hi, I'm Emily. I am an esthetician at European Wax Center, and I wax people.
Awesome. Okay, so obviously I know you personally, so I know that you did leave Monmouth and you went to it's cosmetology school, correct?
Basically,
Uh,
yeah.
so how is the transition from leaving college to getting a full-time job in cosmetology?
For me personally, I was never someone who excelled in school until it became blindingly easy. So when I was able to remove myself from an environment that was, difficult for me and jump into a hands-on environment that was, super easy and very, adaptable. It was very easy and good for me. However, working full time was definitely a big switch up from being able to be on class in your room or sleep for half the day and then just wake up and do whatever. Um, but gotta pay taxes now.
Big adult moves.
So, Emily, when you decided that you wanted to make that transition and leave college and go to cosmetology school, was there like a defining moment where you kind of woke up and was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to change my path? Or was it something that you thought about over a long period of time?
um, in my first semester at Monmouth, I definitely had my eyes open to the social aspects of college, and it was just kind of like, to me at least, if you weren't on a sports team or in a sorority or willing to be a sheep, you didn't really have a big place there. And I just thought that I know my worth a little bit more than that. And I was like, that's kind of silly. Like, people don't give you a chance just because you're not wearing certain letters on your shirt, or you're not wearing some kind of uniform. And I was like, that's silly because I have a lot more to offer. And I was like, even I noticed in class professors were almost recognizing more so like who was contributing to the school and who was just kind of attending it, if that makes any sense. And I was like, I think that I can contribute to society a little bit more in some other way.
Ooh, good
That's fair.
answer. Um, so are you eventually like looking to start a business of your own in the field that you're in? Is that like a thought down the road? Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah, I would like to create my own skincare line or something along that, even if it's like skin benefited makeup. Um, but yeah, definitely not in the near future because I would like to get a little more education on the science behind it. So, a little more schooling possibly in the future. But yeah, definitely would like to do something along those lines.
That's cool. That's definitely something I would look into if you did. Is like, has skincare always been a big thing for you? Have you like had trouble with your skin before? Is that what like interests you in it, or just because of
Um,
your job?
so I've actually been doing makeup with clients and stuff since I was 12. So like weddings, bar mitzvahs, sweet 16s, stuff like that. And I really, really enjoyed that. And then once I realized like I don't want that to be a job, but I could still, work with the skin and stuff, and prepare it for, that special event. Like I can make that my job, the preparation and full circle everything. So that's what kind of got me into it. Luckily, I've been blessed with very good skin. The pandemic, however, definitely testing that sentence.
Oh yeah, the mask knee. It's really bad.
Bad.
Okay, so what's one piece of advice you would give to someone who's interested in going down your career path?
Um, definitely give it your all and make sure it's not just something that is an excuse for not doing another thing. I think that, if it's something that interests you, don't take the opinion of anyone else, no matter what it is. Like I've been literally considering going to like electrician school recently and everyone's like, that's weird. But I'm like, I don't know. I think would be cool, like I want another trade, but that's if I never went to, if I never doubted what my dad said or doubted what my friend said and went and did that, you know, took that like course and like did whatever, I wouldn't be able to, be living in my own home right now. Like paying all of my own bills, being able to get whatever I want because I worked for it and have the ability to like make these decisions and stuff. Like just make sure it's something you want to do and it's something that, will kind of fulfill the rest of all the other crevices in your life, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
definitely. I agree with you. I actually feel the same way on that subject. But something I'm definitely interested in is at the salon, do you get a lot of male clients?
So I transferred to another salon recently, like, or once we opened back up for the pandemic, same company, different franchise. And a lot more males come to this location. So I don't know if it's like demographically how that works or whatever. However, at the wax center that I work at, we do not provide services anywhere on the boxer region on men. However, on females, head to toe, we can wax. But yeah, I do see a lot of male guests. Ironically, they like getting their full legs waxed. It's very interesting.
It's interesting. So do you find yourself like seeing more younger girls showing up at your salon for waxing? Like I'm talking like the young teenage range, like due to like, influences from like social media and magazines and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I definitely catch myself. Like, for instance, I'm right down the street from Monmouth. So I just assume everyone goes to Monmouth that comes in, So I'm like, oh, like, do you go to Monmouth or whatever? And they're like, no, I'm a freshman in high school. And I'm like, ugh. I'm like, you look older than me. That's scary, So like, they're definitely, and they're coming in for services that, I didn't even start doing on myself till I was like 18 or 19 years old, like, so it's definitely a little shocking. However, in the nature of the business, like if you have your parents' consent or if you're of a certain age, you can do whatever you want and it's your body. So I'll do it.
Yeah, if you're paying,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Power to you.
So if I were to go into your salon and ask for a wax, what is one thing that I should not do? Like, what is one thing customers definitely should not do before coming in for a wax?
Well, a common thing that I find happens that I don't think people realize is worse than it is. A lot of women come in right after the gym. They'll take their spin class and then they'll come in for a nice Brazilian wax. And it's like, yeah, I only spend 7 minutes with you. But I've gotten to that 7-minute point because of so many people coming in after the gym or after a long day of stuff. Like, a lot of the time I get this sentence, oh yeah, I'm stopping here before I go to the gynecologist. So it's like they choose to use us as a preparation step when there should be a preparation step beforehand, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely that. But we also have a very awesome 9-minute late policy, which we are graced with. And people take advantage of it because we don't charge for, not showing up or whatever. We don't do anything like that because, we want to have everyone come in and do whatever and make anything available. But people definitely take advantage of it. And with the pandemic, there's a lot of like lying when we ask those like questions to keep everyone safe. Which is kind of sucky, but
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
No, that is not good at all. So this is a really good question. What is the craziest client you've encountered while working at your store?
I don't know if I can share the stories because of like, okay, well, I'll share this one.
Okay.
One time I was waxing a woman who was very nervous and I was doing her Brazilian, and the last step in the Brazilian is I instruct my guests to grab the insides of the knee to hold their legs up. And I laid down a strip, I ripped it off, and this woman proceeded to pee on my arm and the bed. And I said, oh, what? Like I wasn't even this, like I'm very customer servicey, like my voice whole changes, like I'm totally, doing the full performance. But like when this happened, I like completely like stepped out of customer service and was like, what is good? Like, Miley, what's good? You know, I was like, what the heck just happened? You know, like I cannot, no, what? That's not a response to pain. That's weird. You know, like, yeah. So that happened in 2018, maybe 2019. I've been wearing masks since then. So when people ask, how's it working with the mask? Totally fine. Been doing it for a while.
Wow, that's really interesting. That's
Yeah.
fun. Oh, ooh, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, it's okay. Unfortunately, that's not the worst, but it's the worst I can thoroughly explain.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
how has coronavirus this past year, how has that changed the salon? Like, are there different things that you have to do now or certain regulations? How does that work?
Luckily with sanitation and everything like that, we have been, I mean, just the nature of the job, we have been extremely sanitary forever. We've always had masks available, all the things. The only thing that generally changed was either, you know, we got certain name brand things just because of, you know, things being out or being able to be produced. And we do use a lot of quote unquote medical supplies, which I'm talking about tongue depressors and like random stuff like that. So every once in a while we'll, you know, be without something and kind of have to compensate wherever else just because we do order, we're not a priority compared to hospitals and stuff like that, which is totally understandable. And we, as a business that, you know, we do walk-ins and appointments, we're not allowed to technically do walk-ins now. You know, you could walk in, say, I want an appointment, come back in 25 minutes and make the appointment then. But it's a lot of working around, and guests do get turned down sometimes because they've left the state, the country, they've, you know, been exposed within 14 days. A lot of the time, you know, with the law changing or whatever, the rules being like, you only have to quarantine for X amount of days. We still have a policy with us, you know, 14 days, regardless if you've been anywhere, if you've been exposed, if you had it, whatever, we need 2 weeks. And a lot of the time, people have been so fed up with this situation. I get it, but like things happen where, you know, oh, you were out of the state in 10 days. I'm sorry, you know, it's only been 10 days. And then these people freak out and they like cut off business with us, you know, like, or whatever, or like, just like freak out and then treat the waxer terribly. And then, you know, just like they get a bad taste in their mouth just from the situation in general. And, you know, no business is perfect. And like, not everyone, especially in a service industry, you're never gonna have 100% like success with anything, especially with eyebrows. Everyone's so specific with their eyebrows now. But like, I think with the tension of everything that's going on, people, and have been inside for so long, people are retracting their like politeness, I guess, or like will to like give any kind of patience to anyone. And it's like their world and everyone's living in it. And it's interesting because like people that have never been like that I've waxed for years, you know, that they're kind of to show those colors, and it's very interesting. So it kind of just, it brings a negative energy and also slows down business a tiny bit.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. So what makes a good esthetician? Like what is a quality that like makes someone like in that field stand out more than anyone else?
I definitely think, you know, making your guests not clients type thing, like taking everyone not as like a ticket and as like, you know, someone you want to actually genuinely help, paying attention and like learning with the business. Things change all the time. Like, for instance, there's like certain things that can treat one thing and then it comes out, oh, it's been reacting with this and that's actually why, whatever. If you don't pay attention with the up and downs, I mean, like doctors do that, you know, like if you're a doctor, you go to medical school and you think that like, oh, you're done learning, like you're going to be a bad doctor, you know, like I wouldn't want to go see that doctor. So it's kind of the same thing. Granted, I'm not comparing us at all to a doctor, but like you just have to, you know, keep up with everything that's going on, you know, like what turned out to be kind of the scam, you know, what's actually hurting the skin. For instance, that St. Ives stuff. I used St. Ives my whole childhood life, that apricot scrub. And then like up until like 4 or 5 years ago, everyone was like, hey, yeah, your skin is literally cut up in shards. Stop using it, you know? And like, I still come across people who are using it. I'm like, whoa, dude, like you have to stop, you know? And as small as that is, it's like, though it's those people that like, for instance, at my job, we make money off of selling products, right? I think that half of our products don't work well and to what they're advertised for. There's the soap, a lotion, a scrub. Yeah, cool. You could use a soap, lotion, a scrub. But if you're going in with intentions that it's going to do X, Y, and Z, and it doesn't, that's just, you're ticking back into the client aspect, and someone's trying to sell you something instead of trying to give you something that, yeah, it costs money, but it's going to help you. That I just think it's so unnecessary. Like, at the end of the day, is $2 more in your paycheck going to help you? Or is that consistent guest that really appreciates your professional training and your advice going to come to you every 2 weeks, every five weeks, whatever it may be, and, buy that product every time it runs out, or ask you whatever else they need to do or whatever, and make you money in the long run, and also make you more relationships, networking, whatever it may be. Like, you can help more people. And like, I don't know, obviously making money is great, but like, I definitely get so much more fulfillment out of someone being like, thank you for being honest with me. This helps so much, because like, it sucks that there's so many people just like in the industry, not because they want to be doing it to benefit people, but because it's an excuse to make money,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with the products, I totally feel for that, especially with TikTok. And there's all these people coming on saying, they're a dermatologist, or they're this or they're that, and don't use these products. These don't work. These are great. And like, everyone has different opinions. I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't know what the truth is. I don't know what's actually good and what's not at this point, because everybody is saying different things. It's like, it's crazy. But I know that we talked about younger girls coming in and getting waxed because of social media and all that kind of stuff. But do you notice that as well with the older clients? Or like, what is the difference between like a younger person wanting to come in and an older person wanting to come in? Is it the same reason, or do you find they have different reasons?
There's definitely a variety of reasons why people come in. However, I will say with the nature of people, so for you come in, I'm like, what are we doing? We're doing this, that, and the other thing. For instance, if we were doing a Brazilian, I would say, okay, you could take everything from the bottom off, lay up on the bed and butterfly. Younger girls will have no problem getting butt naked and just hopping up on the bed, like whatever. They'll be Snapchatting their friends, they'll be doing whatever, just because they're like, oh, I'm doing something funny, I'm getting naked in front of someone, like getting a wax, and it's like, I do this for my job, so it's nothing to me. Like, I go and whatever, but like, this is like an event for them, and it's something to share with their friends. When an older woman goes, it's like, oh, I got to fit this into my schedule, I'm on lunch, like, or whatever, or I drop the kids off at school and they have a half a day because it's virtual for the rest of the day, I got to get in now, like, or they're like super embarrassed and like covering all the spots that I need to wax because they're ashamed of their body. And it's sad, because at the same time, it would be awesome to see, everyone with the amount of confidence that these young girls have, but also at the same time, these girls are definitely not 18 years old, and they are definitely, whether it's with their friends or not, they're definitely sharing their experience of an intimate service. This is absolutely an intimate service. There's no windows, there's no cameras, there's no other people inside my room other than me and the guest that I'm waxing. And, it stays that way. We don't, technically we have a policy that, like, if you come with your kid's technically not supposed to come in the room. However, we're human beings and we understand that your 6-year-old doesn't want to sit by themselves in the lobby or outside with Corona. So like, it's whatever. We do have a small chair in there for whatever, but like, it's definitely hot and cold with younger women and older women. And I don't know if I want to use the word modesty or confidence, because sometimes it is just pure confidence. And, you go there to get a service, they're on a schedule, whatever. But a lot of the times, people do ask, if they could, have relations, like sexual relations later, if it's safe for that. And, a lot of the time, 10 minutes before that question was asked, we're talking about prom or something, or like whatever. And it's just, as someone who's like speaking to a minor, I don't want to like say anything about that, or like just speaking as to someone I don't know their age, or like what I don't really like, that's not part of my job to like talk about that stuff. And like, as an adult, adults understand that. kids don't always necessarily understand that. And like, I'm not trying to make them uncomfortable, but like also they're low key making me uncomfortable type thing, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Emily.
Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Anytime you guys need a wax.